Hello and welcome to Oz by Drone. I'm Greg, and today we've got special guest, fill-in co-host, Chris Rollins.
How's it going, everybody?
Hey, Chris. Welcome, and thank you for filling in. John's away. He's going and doing music things as he does regularly. He's a, well, he's not a musician. He's a drummer. Boom tish.
Okay.
Anyway, all drama jokes aside, he is a musician and a great one at that. So do look up John Morrison, but not the other John Morrison that everyone knows about. John Morrison, drummer, and yeah, he's a jazz drummer. He's a great jazz drummer. So what have you been up to this week? What's happening, Chris?
I am trying to get some videos out for my MAVIC 2 Pro, but the monsoon came in this week, so I've gotten to fly maybe 20 minutes. With my MAVIC, it's killing my spirit. It's killing me. But yeah, that's really been it. It's just lots of work that I go to work and then I see the sun come out, and then as soon as I get out of work, the rain comes back. So it's been a very soul-crushing week.
Yeah, I want to get out and fly myself, but we've had some bad weather, and also for those who were here last week, I shared the fact that my drone met a tree, but that's another story. Anyway, moving on from that. So what have we got this week? What's happening? What is in the news?
The news. I need to pull these up if you don't mind.
Absolutely. So we've got Chris as our substitute newsreader. Normally we try and get John to do this. So the first topic we've got today
is still being pulled up. I'm very sorry, Greg.
Actually, you know what? This is there's actually a late news item. So the topic that I just played on the screen is actually the second topic. So let me do the first one. There's no title for it.
Okay.
So do you want to just put the picture up on the screen for me? Let's do that. So this is a picture of a drone. It's an Inspire, and this drone was actually shot out of the air by an angry neighbor in Ohio last night. The drone crashed down to earth at about 168 feet high. The aircraft, as you can see in the photo, was heavily damaged as a result. The neighbor confessed and gave it back and apologized.
What?
Yeah, I know.
It looks like he shot it after it hit the ground too, because those shotgun pellets are on the top. Just as a Yankee eye, I'm just saying.
Good observation, but you know, all I can say is only in America we don't have problems with guns over here.
I somehow I doubt that that's completely true.
Well, anyway, but back to the interesting thing though. Here's what people need to know and understand. Before you go and shoot a drone out of the sky, please understand that in Australia, the penalty is exactly the same as if you shot a 747 out of the sky. Okay? Please understand that. So taking action against drones in the sky, not a good thing to do. And next week on Ken Heron's show, he's actually going to talk about this, and there are similar penalties in the US. You can actually go to jail. It's a federal crime to interfere with a drone in the sky.
Yes, well, it's for several things because you can endanger people who are under it. It's destroying property that is not yours. It's a mess.
Yeah.
And Greg, I apologize. I cannot find. It's not coming up the news. I'm terribly sorry.
Okay, look, I'll read the stuff out for you. It's okay.
Well, let me react to it as if I'm you.
Okay, so drone ambulance. There's a concept picture that we're going to put up on the screen in a couple of moments. An Italian engineer, Vincenzo Navanteri, received an honour at the FAI second inaugural drone conference expo. His drone ambulance concept is designed to transport a single person up to 150 kilometres at speeds of around 100 kilometres per hour. The 8 electric propellers are powered by 2 gas-driven micro turbines, each with its own high-speed generator and independent gas storage. So,
what?
Yeah, I know. Now, this is only a concept picture, but the design, they have the design and they're in the process of building it. So they've done all of the logic and the aerodynamics and how do we actually build this thing, and they're in the process now of building it. But that's the concept photo, and he's won a prize of $20,000 for the design.
That's actually pretty. 100 kilometers an hour. That's moving. Yeah,
absolutely. So moving on from there, speaking of all things medical, number 2, defibrillator. So we've got some stuff that we're going to put up on the screen now.
Now.
1.2.
Be my eyes, Greg.
There we go.
Supplies may soon be used as a delivery service in Victoria for patients in difficult-to-access areas. The Australian first testing is being done at a brand-new research facility at Port Melbourne.
This is no ordinary drone. It's capable of carrying life-saving medical supplies and can be flown almost anywhere. It doesn't get stuck in peak hour traffic and can be at a scene with supplies in minutes. Its accuracy is pinpoint. For someone suffering a heart attack, it'll be a lifesaver.
We know
so we'll leave it just there.
Reduction in survival.
So Chris, who's looking with his eyes carefully to try and work out what it's about, it was a defibrillator being dropped. Just for our audience members' benefit, there's a limitation of this software where the guests who we're talking to don't actually hear what it is that you're hearing. So he doesn't get to know what it is that they're talking about. And since he couldn't find the link to get the piece of paper that I'm reading from, he's got no idea. So maybe for the next video, what we're going to do is have you try and lip read and tell us what you think it is.
Well, can I just say the image of a stiff corpse and a drone just dropping a first aid bag on its face was priceless. Good luck.
Okay. So moving on from there. Now this one is an interesting one. Let's go to monocopter.
Am I supposed to narrate this one?
Yeah, you tell us what it is. So...
Okay, here we have a spinning top, looks like with a couple of LiPo batteries, and it explodes wood, is what it does. It appears to be,
hey guys,
yes, shattering wood.
This is a 3D printed thrust vectored electroductive
the guy's talking
now. This is a beer koozie.
A better word.
The guy's
it's
talking
basically
now.
A 19mm EDF with batteries, flight controller, receiver, motor controller, basically all the minimum requirements for flight strapped to it, plus 4 independently controllable thrust vectoring vanes. I'll give you a quick demo of how this flies. It's generally similar to a normal quadcopter, and then go over the engineering challenges in actually making this work.
A lot here today, and I'll definitely be uploading a video after this. But back to the point, what is it that we're looking at?
You're asking me?
So I'm about to tell you. What we're looking at is a monocopter. So think of a quadcopter with only one engine, one fan. And this is a ducted fan. And what they're doing, they're using fins to direct that thrust. So 4 independently controllable and operated fins to direct that in a different direction. It was just something new and unique, and I thought it was appropriate to share. Really, really cool technology.
That is very cool. It sounds mean.
Absolutely. So let's move on from that, and our next story today is having a look at counter UAS. So drones, you know, this is something where, you know, companies, we were talking about it before, counter UAS, one simple counter UAS solution is a gun, but how do you deal with drones in a legal and lawful manner? And certainly the Australian government, we'll just put the photo up on the screen, has equipped the Bushmaster, which is one of our military appliances, with a system made by a company called Mesmer. And this particular device has Linux anti-drone measures. So think of this, it's automatically, dynamically hacking into the drone controller that it finds. And taking control of it. So not just forcing it to land by overwhelming it with stuff, but actually just, you will land here. This is where I want you to land.
So is it sort of like a, this is going to sound really dumb, but like a ray gun that they sort of point up at it and take control of it? Or does it just block the signal completely?
No. So those ray gun things that you've seen before, they are solutions that are designed to overwhelm the RF circuit in the drone with so much Wi-Fi or whatever particular frequency it is that it's, I don't know what to do. I'm going to resort to my default programming, which is to land. Right. So all drones have that default programming in them. But this is a lot more intelligent. It dynamically hacks into the drone or its controller, depending on the technology, and takes over. It sends new commands and tells it, I want you to go over there. So really, really cool tech. For those of you who follow the underground hacking scene, the guy called Hostile, or also known as /, you may have seen him around, and he's one of the guys that work at Mesmer. Really cool product. But let's move on from that. We've got something that's really, really cool, and I've got to go and press too many buttons for this. Here we go. Oh, this is my button.
Drone Ranger.
Drone Ranger. So Drone Ranger is a product and made by Australian researchers at the Queensland University of Technology. Let's have a look at the video.
Hi, I'm Matt Dunbabin. I'm a robotics researcher here at QUT. I'm very interested in the protection of the Great Barrier Reef, and I've been creating robots to help solve some of the big problems that it's facing. One of those problems is around crown of thorn starfish, and we've built robots to actually control their numbers. These are starfish that are literally eating the reef away, and they're in big outbreak proportions at the moment. So RangerBot is a revolutionary robotic system designed for operation on the reef. And it has eyes, and it can see what it's see and interpret the reef, but in particular look for crown of thorn starfish. And that's a unique skill for this robot, and we're exploiting that to help control their numbers. So what RangerBot is doing is actually replicating what humans do now, which is inject the starfish. And by doing that, we can help control their numbers and help save the reef. But what we're interested in now is how do we upscale this to this size of the Great Barrier Reef. We're interested in producing learning materials, getting user studies, taking them to schools, to different community groups, all around Queensland and potentially Australia, but we can help make a difference here, and using robotics is one solution to that.
Okay, so Chris, what was it?
I was like, please don't ask me. It looks like a remote control submarine that goes around stabbing coral reefs. I'm not exactly, let me just sound educated and say it's maybe grabbing samples from coral reefs.
No. Okay. So one of the greatest threats to the Great Barrier Reef, obviously, which is a famous part of Australia, the biggest threat that we have is the crown of thorn starfish. Right? It literally eats the reef. And unfortunately, from time to time, their population goes out of control, which causes problem for the Great Barrier Reef. So this device has some tech in it that can detect them, find them, and they pump vinegar into them. They inject them with vinegar to kill them off.
Is that the humane way to do that?
that is the only way that they've come up with at the moment. But I don't know. I'm not a crown of thorns starfish.
I guess the lesser of two evils is save the whole of the reef. If you've
population control. Population control. I don't know if there's a birth control solution for crown of thorns starfish, but let's not go there.
Maybe that's what vinegar does.
I don't know. But moving on from that, the next topic is jailed. And Cambodian espionage verdict is due for Australian filmmaker who flew a drone. This guy was arrested after flying a drone to photograph a Cambodian opposition party rally last year, and he was convicted of spying and sentenced to 6 years in prison on Friday. So just sharing this is really, really, obviously not what you want to have when you go fly your drone. Obviously, if you're in a country that's got some unfamiliar laws to you, there are risks there. But at the end of the day, I see this as, a journalism type thing where he's going and flying his drone. But unfortunately, the political system over there is obviously not so good. I did also read that our Prime Minister is going, and he's directly been involved in some of the communication and making sure that the Department of Foreign Affairs and through the consulate is giving all assistance possible for that particular gentleman.
Man, how old is he? Was he just there for vacation? Did I miss that part of the story? I think he's a independent journalist, and there was obviously this political changes happening in Cambodia, where one party has been deregistered and they now have a single party state, and obviously there was lots of protests and things over there, and he was filming that. So, man,
yeah, we do have some more stories that we're going to skip over for the moment. We'll continue just so that we can keep things moving. And we may come back to them if we got time a little bit later. So at this point, let's bring in our guest. Let's bring in our guest, Spike. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, hello everyone. How you going, folks?
Hey, Spike. Thank you for joining us and welcome. So for those who haven't seen Spike before, He's an interesting character, very patriotic Australian with the Australian flag behind him there, and as well as his Ferrari-coloured MAVIC and a few other bits and pieces. But
I love that.
Spike, before we get into your videography, tell me a bit about your background. And, we're going to see you in your trike. And in fact, what we might do, let's put the trike video up on the screen, and we'll have a conversation with that running in the background.
Righto.
But while it's coming up, there we go.
Whoops. That's the wrong one.
Is that the wrong one?
Yeah,
there we go.
There's some track.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
That's it. G'day, Rick.
Although
g'day,
that's
Mars,
not the trike
Chris,
one, that's
Steve,
all
the guys in the chat. Hello.
Yeah. Actually, this isn't the trike one. This is the mega grain bin one, shot with your MAVIC Pro. But still interesting, and I'm looking at the video and seeing you're definitely playing around with your Final Cut Pro settings there.
Yeah, man, yeah. Just learning it and loving it.
And we just need to restart that streaming. Upload a copy of this video afterwards, unfortunately. Thank you to our sponsors, Telstra, who give us such a great internet service. Anyway, so tell me a little bit about yourself.
Sure, no worries. I guess, well, quickly, oh God, it's got to be quick. I've gone all bloody funny because now it's my turn. I was born in England and came to Australia in '62. Then been here and loving the country. I was in showbiz, but I really sort of I copped a kick in the head about 5 years ago with being told I had 3 months to live with cancer. They got it wrong. I had treatment. I come good from that, so I'm still alive. The chemo and that has done my head in. So my brain doesn't work the same post chemo as it does used to work. But that's okay because the sun shines and I just love life. And the drone, like we all are in this droning community, it is such a such a special thing to anyway, it gives me great joy, and it's really brain teasing to and it's really good for me to do this droning, the making the videos. The YouTube channel is fantastic because it really makes me think, and it helps me I don't know, it just helps with me get along every day. So that's really cool. And I'm wanting to do this full time and make videos, and as you'll see that I've loaded a few little ones recently. Yesterday, I just want to tell this everyone. Yesterday, I went to a fantastic country ag show. The Corrigan, the trike won first prize for best motorbike at the show. So, and I've videoed it, and I've done some interviews with people, and I'll be putting that video up really soon. So yeah, that was really cool too.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks beautiful. Awesome. Yeah. Looks beautiful. Congratulations on winning that. And certainly that that video is really, really well produced. So I was noticing you know, having some fun with the Final Cut Pro effects and documenting them up in the corner there. And I've got to learn it. The only reason I do live is because I'm too lazy to do editing.
It's a great thing, huh?
Is that why you have the live show?
Yeah, it is. I'll be really blunt. I've got so much video footage that I could put together, but I'm no good at it. And, well, I'm okay at it when I put the effort in and try, but I don't do it often enough. Let's put up in the background a second video. So this is your flying joyride.
Oh, dear.
And while that's coming up, so, you know, obviously you're basically saying you've cut down from the full Harley to the smaller one because of mobility.
Yes, correct. Yes. Not crashing or anything like that.
Sure. And does the drone help you with that as well? Like, you know, it takes you out of your body and going somewhere?
Yes, it does, man. I mean, as far as it's almost like spiritual, I must say. Yeah. But also too, it's motivating. I find it, you know, it does. I plan for a film day, go out, and it gets me out, walking about and all the rest of it. I get off the walking stick, and it's all right. I've had a couple of hips replaced. I've got osteoarthritis, so just like getting old, it's okay. It sucks, but you know, who cares? It's all up in here. And yes, the drone and the droning community. What a
We've
fantastic!
Got a great
all these
community
guys
of people, yeah,
in the chat right now.
It's
I
just
want to
having
give
fun.
That's so awesome.
Yeah,
I've got to give a special shout out to Rick. Rick
Halber.
Rick, he's on the chat. Yes.
He's a great guy.
He made a donation to my channel. He was I must say, Mars gave me a little donation early on. That was fantastic, just to test it all out, and I love him for that, Mars and Kaz. But also Rick, and it was a nice little donation, the first real donation, and I do appreciate it. So thank you very much, Rick. I told you I'd give you a plug, man, and here it is. I love you.
He's a great guy.
Thank you.
He's a great guy.
It all helps. I'm looking like the big guys, like of course. It's, oh man, to be on here with Mr. Chris Rollins. Whoo!
Oh,
you know, these heavyweights.
Look,
man,
can I just say something? A lot of the drone community who have bigger channels, and you know, they are just really, really nice guys. I've had a few people come in here who are, you know, heavy hitters, and they're just nice, genuine people, and it's really good to just chinwag. But anyway, let's move on. I've got one more quick video of yours.
Can we address that one shot there, brother, where you're just doing donuts on the bike? That was sick.
That's cool.
You're a man after my own heart. You're a man after my own heart.
That's, like I said, that was that. You remember that one I told you earlier, before we were on air, a year ago, people, if you're listening to this, check out Chris Rollins' video a while back, about a year ago, last winter. He was on top of a car park. The car park had ice on it, and he's in his blooming car. And so, what was the temperature, Chris? Like minus blooming.
In Fahrenheit, it was like 20. 15, 20.
Yeah. And what is it for the rest of the civilized world?
Yeah. I don't know, like negative 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really, and he was doing skids on the roof. I thought, shit, man, if he gets out of control, you're off the edge of the car park. You know? How tall was that? What was that for?
He is insane.
Yeah, yeah. It was about 4 or 5 stories high, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was about 5 stories up. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and I thought, shit, you know. So there you go. I was thinking of that when I did my little over the top shot, and yeah, and I just planning for all these shots as well. They're really, really cool. It's like making a bit of a movie out of it.
Yeah,
you know?
and it's stimulating. You feel your brain getting stimulated as you're trying to think of these things through and plan them out. I love that.
Yeah.
It is awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's so cool.
Speaking of flying, though, and since we have a lot of DJI fans here, we've got one more video of yours, and let's just play that.
Oh, this is.
I love the way you're.
Oh, this is the. This is fixing up the camera, is
together. Let's see
how
we go,
yeah, because I pranged it, yeah. And I had to put a new camera gimbal cable ribbon thing on.
Please work.
And man,
I'm just listening to the audio there in the background. Please work.
Yeah, talk about do your head in, eh?
So what happened? Tell me.
To do that.
Tell me, how did it happen?
Well, it was in that the video previous that you played, the big mega grain bin, and I tried to fly it through like where the trucks drive through. It's all tin and metal, and the too much magnetic interference, and the bloomin' lost control, and it just props were okay. I'm sorry, a couple of props went. That was it. You know, no visual other damage.
And the gimbal ribbon cable.
The camera just wouldn't work. And you know what? I've done it again.
Before you tell me you've done it again, I've got to ask, right? Have you had an electrical background? How did you feel, and how comfortable were you doing this repair for the first time?
Well, I had a fantastic tutor. I'm gonna promote him because I just think he was fantastic. I searched on the internet for someone to show, which I don't have the money to get it fixed from someone else. So I thought, do it yourself. And I searched into the internet. I put it in the video's link, actually. Fly drones.
He's one of the guys in the underground hacking scene. I did some work with him a while back. Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah, and the video was so detailed, and I just had it up, watched a bit, paused, watched a bit, paused. A lot of the guys who with this particular, I guess, but Steve, he had it so that it was, and he explained it, you know, and it was really good. And yeah, a fantastic challenge, and of course, bang, it worked. I took it down last weekend to the coast. I went for a drive with my wife, and we took the caravan out, and I made some really good video there, and that's coming up of some ocean, and where there was divers underwater. I had a really good, what do you call it? I can't remember the name of the filter that you could look through water. And and that footage has come up really, really good. So that's coming up soon. One from the beach, an ocean and jetty, and I've got some. There was some dolphins. Oh man, it was like cue everything, you know, a bit like the eagle one. Cue the eagle. Yeah, it's fantastic. So yeah, got some really good videos coming up real soon, Greg and Chris and everybody.
Awesome. Look, Spike, thanks for being our guest, and I'll have you to stick around because later on we've got something that we're going to get you to do. But before we do that, Spike was holding something up on the screen which people didn't see, but we'll get to that. So just a couple of things. Competitions, congratulations to last week's Tello winner, Drone Shots, congratulations, and that should be on its way to you now. A big thank you to Rick Smith from Drone Valley, and this is where the drone community, I'm a little small channel, and Rick came on as a guest and he donated a Tello, which was absolutely awesome. So thanks again, Rick Smith. Please do go to Drone Valley if you're not already a subscriber and subscribe to that. One other giveaway that we've got in the background, we're giving away an Osmo, so there's a video in the channel. If you just go to the channel homepage, we're giving away an Osmo when we hit 1,000 subs.
Is that an international contest?
That's an international contest. I'll send that wherever it's going to get sent. That's an Osmo mobile, and happy to send it. Oh, Spike is having fun. One other thing I'd like to do, an unofficial competition, if you like. I'd like to have a feature on the best sunset photo. Right? So for people,
good idea.
People who are filming with their drones and having fun, every single one of you. How many people are watching right now? I don't get to see it here at the moment.
Let me check.
18.
18. Look, every single one of you, we're not that big, we're small, but every single one of you and the people watching this later after the fact, every one of you has shot a sunset at some point. So send them in, and just where to send them is upload at gregkuhnert.com. Send it to that address, and we'll have a feature of some of those photos in the weeks to come. So moving on from that, I've got something that I want to talk about. Oops, and I pressed the wrong button. How did I do that?
Oh,
it's because I'm on the wrong screen. I'll press that one. Oh, the shameless plug comes later. Don't worry. I just wanted to have a brief chat about the Phantom 5 photos that have been circulating. Have you seen them, Chris?
Yes. Ken Heron sent me a text. He goes, "Hey, have you seen these?" And then he emailed me the photos. That's exciting. If they're real, it's exciting.
Well, let's put them up, and we're going to have an informal speculation, discussion, whatever you want to call it, about them. So the first one is the Phantom 5 supposedly in the box. Let's move those titles out of the way. There we go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always so hesitant to jump on real quick, you know, when it could be someone just painted their drone.
But the source of the photos... The source of the photos is Ostia LV, who has usually been pretty accurate with a lot of the material he shares. And the second photo we'll put up. So again, showing the camera, and the interesting thing to note there is there appears to be a small button that you can push for the detachment of the lens, which is something that's been discussed before.
I mean, I did a video 2 or 3 months ago where I kind of made a mock Phantom 5 where I put a DSLR under it, and I was like, this is what I want. I want interchangeable lenses on my Phantom. This is what I want. And maybe they saw that video.
Chris, thank you for the design.
You're welcome, world. You are welcome.
Let's have a look at one more photo.
I'm not that cocky. Ah, that's awesome.
So
I want that to be real so bad.
Yeah, so that is... Look, we've seen previous comments from DJI saying that they made a single custom drone for a custom customer. DJI is not a company that, you know, wastes technology. If they've done that work, they'd be stupid not to be going and selling it. So personally, I think it's happening. I think it's happening late this year.
Yeah.
And definitely the detachable lens is looking good. I've got one more photo that's really interesting though, and that is, so we've seen this one before, and I'll tell you why I find this one as interesting. So this is what supposedly is coming next in terms of Osmo. So the existing cameras that you can use on Inspire or whatnot, you can put onto this new handle that they've got, so you can switch between Inspire, and that is what it seems to be showing. But here's the other interesting thing. The existing Osmos are now end of life. So they've actually formally announced, we're going to stop manufacture of that existing product.
Yeah, that makes sense though. I mean, because that's very similar to like what GoPro did with their... with their now defunct drone, but that you could also take the gimbal off onto their carrier thing. It makes sense.
I wonder if DJI is paying royalties to GoPro.
GoPro needs the money. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. So yeah, interesting points. Again, the button to click to remove the lens. The MAVIC obviously does have 2 models with different lenses, but it's an interesting differentiator, and I think that's by design. I think DJI could have made them interchangeable, but I think they didn't deliberately to prevent, to make sure there's a product differentiator.
Right. I was actually having a discussion on YouTube yesterday with one of my YouTube friends, and we were discussing, like, is there even a need for the Phantom 4 Pro now that the MAVIC 2 Pro is out? And I speculate that no, there's not really a market for the Phantom 4 Pro anymore when you've got a cheaper drone with a better camera, in my opinion.
Except that this will be the differentiator, the interchangeable lenses.
Yeah. Right, which is why they had to do this.
Yeah. So, look, that's all we've got on that topic. And now we've got some other things that we need to do.
Yeah.
It's time for Stump the Yank. Now, seeing that we've got Chris here and let's play that music. Let's play that music. Hang on. It was almost there. Okay, and ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and now it's time for Stump the Yank. With your special guest quizmaster, it's Spike.
Hello, yeah, man.
Welcome back.
I got some questions for you. Good. I got some questions for you.
I've seen the man from Snowy River 5 times.
Okay, all right. Well, that's good because then you got no excuses, have you, mate? All right, so here we go.
Okay, and just to share, so the format today, we've got 3 questions, and they're A, B, C, D answers. So we're going to see what we get back in from Chris if he's able to work it out. Maybe Chris can be an honorary Australian if he can get these right. Let's see how we go. Question 1.
I reckon now. I tell you what, Greg, I reckon really, honestly, on behalf of all Australians, I think Chris, for the fact that he's already done the Vegemite and that face, I dubbed him an Aussie. But anyway, let's get on with the questions here. Chris, mate, here we go.
Yes.
If I have heaps of bush oysters, mate, I have heaps of oysters from the bush, nasal mucus, snot, oysters from the river, or money.
Heaps of bush oysters. I'm going to say that it's not oysters from the bush because I don't think that's going to be a thing. Okay, well, it didn't. Was it snot? Was that the second choice?
Yeah. B was nasal mucus, snot. C was oysters from the river, and D was money.
Okay, I'm gonna go with B. I'm gonna go with B.
Hey, yes, you're correct, man. All right. Okay, moving right along to question number 2.
Okay.
What time of the day is a sparrow's fart? A, very late at night. B, middle of the day. C, very early in the morning. Or D, in the afternoon. What time of the day is a sparrow's fart?
Oh my gosh.
And this is a legit, full-on, this is common Australian term.
This is common, right? This is like if I stepped off the plane in Sydney and I said, hey, what do you know? It's a sparrow's fart. Like, no one would think I'm weird.
If your plane, you could say your plane is arriving. You could say your plane is arriving at Sparrow's Fart. What time is it?
Early morning.
Congratulations!
Are you serious?
You need. Yes, you won. Yeah, you got it, man. You got it right. You need a little ding sound, Greg.
Does anybody know why that's when a sparrow's fart is?
Well, what do you do in the morning when you get up?
Sparrow's fart, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, final question, mate. Final question. Here we go. If I am giving an Aussie salute, what am I doing? Am I pulling a beer? Am I saluting a policeman? C, am I giving someone the finger? Or am I swatting away flies?
Oh, gosh.
If I'm giving an Aussie salute, what am I doing? A, pulling a beer. B, saluting a policeman. C, giving someone the finger. Or D, swatting flies away.
Okay, I'm going to say I think it's either A or D.
Oh, come on. You got tick, 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 tick. Come on.
Hey, I'm going to go with A. I'm going with A.
Lock it in.
Lock it in. He's locked.
Is it A?
No. It's spotting flies.
Swatting away flies.
And look, one last quick question before I go.
Okay.
Mate, I need to know about your Nissan car. You were going to paint it green. You were thinking about what color to paint it, green or maroon. I just want to know, did you paint it green, my suggestion, or did you go for that man pink maroon?
It is going to be the man pink maroon, but I still have not painted it. I have not painted it yet because of life. has
Yeah,
gotten
yeah,
in the
man.
way. It's almost completely sanded though, so I'm very close. Within about next 2 weeks, I think it should be painted.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool. Listen, I've got to go, but I really want to say thank you very much for letting me be on here, Greg. I'd like to say thanks to everybody that's in the chat, and I'll jump on the chat now. And Chris, man, and I look forward to seeing what Greg's all about as well. Yeah.
Thanks, Spike.
See you again.
It was lovely having you. And
Spike.
guys, Spike, when you get back on the chat there, can someone put your channel link? I'll give you a spanner so you can do it later.
Sure.
But someone else who's a moderator, if they could post Spike's channel link, that'd be awesome. Thank you for joining us. So
You're welcome.
See you, Spike.
See ya.
So what we're going to do now...
Is 2 out of 3 good enough to be an honorary...
Why not? Why not?
Got to get my passport.
So what we're going to do now, we're going to play a video in the background. So Spike, if you could do me a favor and drop that rendezvous connection just so that I can have a bit more bandwidth back. We got someone else who will be joining. So we're going to do 2 things in the background. We're going to go and put that new person into the shot. And at the same time, we're going to play a short video clip from Chris's channel. Well, we won't play the whole thing. It's too long. And too embarrassing.
Cheers, Spike.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's, well, see, I don't really get that embarrassed anymore because I maxed out years ago.
Okay. So we've got the channel link. 400 AGL has just put Spike's channel link in there. Let's play that video.
G'day, mate. I wanted to start off this video by saying I really don't recommend ever eating anything that people send you in the mail, particularly food. That being said, one of my subscribers and fellow YouTubers, OzByDrone, sent me Vegemite to see if I would be willing to try it, to see if I'd be willing to try this on camera. I said absolutely. I've always wanted to try it. He and I have talked a couple times. I'm pretty convinced he's not psycho. The 3 things Americans know about Australia: koala bears, kangaroos, Vegemite. He sent me a list of things I've got to try. 2 pieces of buttered toast with Vegemite on it. We actually don't have bread in the house. We have hamburger buns because we're American. So here we go. Oh,
I've learned so much since then.
Now,
why is it so black?
Now, I'm just going to turn the volume down a little bit. At this point, I did say Vegemite on toast. I didn't say half the tube of Vegemite on toast.
Nor did you say thinly spread. I just want to point that out. Oh, I'm reliving it.
Oh, it's so salty. Why is it so salty? Oh.
My wife is just off camera laughing at me.
So the reason that I actually sent this to you in the first place, I saw you doing that hot chip, the 1 chip challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought, okay, if he can do that, he can do Vegemite. Now, no one in their right mind would put the amount of Vegemite that I asked you to put in your mouth as this video continues. But you did it anyway, which makes you definitely an honorary Aussie in my mind. So
yes.
Yeah. So
Thank you all of Australia.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm still not a fan of the Vegemite.
Well,
now, here's just a curiosity. It says it's made from beer yeast. Why is y'all's beer that salty?
They probably add salt, but anyway, it's all good.
I mean, my word. And then I licked a spoonful of it, which again, not smart.
Okay, look, that's all. Look, I just want to say, Chris, you do some great cinematography work, and you know I enjoy watching it. I enjoy some of your tips and tricks. For those people who are here but not looking at Chris's channel, why? Go and subscribe if you're not already there. He's got some great material, and yeah, has a lot of fun in what he's doing, driving.
Well, thank you very much.
Flying drones and crashing them and dropping darts from the top of his.
Some of it is more of a life lesson than it is instructional, but yes.
Doesn't matter. It's all fun as long as you're having fun. So let's move on from there. So next we have, and I didn't press the right button. It doesn't matter. We're going to go to our Oz videos. So let's move on with that.
Alrighty.
So I pressed the wrong button. So we've got Greg Hilton in the background. Greg, can you be talking us through these videos as we go?
Yeah, mate. Hi, everyone.
So
that's,
Greg is...
Lighthouse at Byron Bay.
Now, where is this?
Manually flying that one. It's keeping that lighthouse on the left-hand third, so it's on a point of view circle. That's cool flying.
So that was at Byron Bay, and Greg, I've got some material up on the website, on the run sheet as well, that we can share as well if you want to read through some of that.
This is good. This is a Inspire 1, looking at a bridge built in 1860.
And certainly we had Anthony Smith.
Night Fly.
Anthony Smith is the creator of that particular video. I encourage everyone who's looking today to definitely check out these videos and subscribe to those channels if the content interests you.
Now, where is this?
I'm not doing well today with my titling. I'm pressing the wrong button a few times.
Passion fingers. I'm not sure if the top. This is up the top of Queensland, I think. But yeah, this is some nice flying through this gorge.
Yeah, so that was no, that was Northern Territory, and then after
Northern
that we're
Territory,
going to have,
yeah, you like this, Chris?
Yes, I do.
This is over in Perth. These guys really smoke it up.
Oh, and that's happened again. I'm not having fun with my software today.
Don't touch anything.
Don't mess up the drift footage, man. It's a nice drift on that Nissan 240 there.
I'll re-upload this.
This is difficult flying out of a Inspire.
Yeah, those Inspire ones are hard to keep in place.
Particularly when you're panning with a fast car.
Yeah. So this channel was Drone Camera Action. Encourage you to go and have a look at some of his material.
Drone Camera Action follow motor racing. They're very good at it. Well worth checking out their channel.
That drifting is making some really cool tire marks on the road. Oh, look at that.
So this one's in Western Australia, and the creator for this one is Kuhnert Gia. Unfortunately, in the video description, it didn't explain exactly where it was in Western Australia, but some beautiful footage nonetheless.
The end shot here, you'll see the outside of the rock is broken off. And down in the bottom left corner, you'll see that it shed a layer.
You have such awesome rock formations over there. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he's down amongst a lot of obstacles there.
So this one was filmed by Aussie train driver, Winter
this is a MAVIC.
Simmerer.
Nice shot.
It was filmed with a Phantom 4 Pro drone in 60 frames per second, but he also did, and I don't know, never heard of this before, Mr. Filmmaker, what is a 2.7K?
It's just a resolution size. You've got 1080.
Of 2.7, that's all.
Yeah, it's sort of an intermediate between HD and 4K. Kind of like back when 720 was really common.
Nice shot.
Oh, well
so obviously
done.
he's a train fanatic, judging by the
so am I. Got to find a train.
Aussie train driver. It's certainly lovely to see a lot of those old trains being still preserved.
Is that the name of that town? Nuji?
Yep. And there are active post boxes there too. This is a lovely shot.
There's your sunset shot, man.
Yeah, that was the cool one.
So our last section is from Mark Jager, compilation of drone footage from his travels around Australia, including scenes from Kalbarri, Esperance, the Nullarbor Plain.
That's
I was Googling where Spike lives, and I was like, wow.
In the middle of nowhere.
There's nobody.
Yeah,
that's
this
cool.
is nice.
That is so gorgeous.
No lychee on that one.
Yeah, so so Greg's included a large chunk of this. Certainly they're looking at many different parts of Australia through his trip there, including the Great Australian Bight, the Eyre Peninsula, right up to the Great Barrier Reef, Whitsunday Islands, and the Daintree Rainforest. So
he's really up close here.
Woo!
Inches away.
Beautiful love waterfall shots. Love waterfall shots.
So Chris, I know that Ken is getting his passport. When will you be getting yours?
Oh, I have a passport.
Okay, come on down.
What I was mentioning earlier was I need to get my Australian passport now.
I call this shot of the week. Have a look at this shot, Chris. This is just so cool.
Oh, that was very cool.
And coming back over on
the
top.
Oh, nice. Yes. Whoa, he's high. Nice. Who's the pilot for this?
The pilot for this one was called Mark Jager.
Mark Jager. Okay, I'll look him up. Oh, that's
doing
cool.
a bit of Matthias flying backwards here.
Yeah.
He's waiting for Ken Heron.
So just while we're getting to the end of this, can I encourage you all to send any clips that you've filmed that you'd like included, particularly those of you who are Australian, obviously.
That's really nice.
And our friend who's in the background, Greg Hilton, we'll have him come up on screen and say hello in a couple of moments. Greg is our editor, if you like, our compiler of all of these clips.
A party at the beach, bring your tinny.
Yeah, Greg does this every week, and I just want to thank him so much for helping to put that together. We're nearly at the end now.
Hey, good job, boys.
Absolutely.
Nice. It's the most Australian shot ever, right there.
Hey.
Absolutely. What was that? What was that commercial years ago? The Holden Cars thing. Not more Australian than meat pies.
Kangaroos and Holden cars.
Yeah, there was a third one. What was the third one? Football, meat pies, kangaroo, and Holden cars. That's, if you got those four things, you're an Aussie. That was an old ad. So, look, we've come to the end, but I said at the beginning I had a couple of other news-ish related things that we didn't cover. I was trying to make sure we had plenty of time to get everything in today. Let's go back to the beginning and have a look at that. By the way, just a quick comment. All of those, the Explore Australia video, I'll re-upload that at a later time, and you'll be able to have a look at that separately. So that will have proper titles, no promotional stuff in the middle, and it'll look a whole lot better. But anyway, let's move on to a little bit of news. So this is a video clip of a MAVIC 2, and it's being used to, it's a DJI promotional video.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah, but it's even more gorgeous what it's filming. So this is DJI in partnership with Porsche. They put this together. Obviously, Porsche is very happy about the footage as well. This is a concept car that Porsche has put together. It's an electric vehicle, other than the fact that it was shot with a drone, but really nice to have a look at.
Yeah, wow. That was awesome.
And that brings me to the next video. And that brings me to the next video, which is also not about the topic of drones, but shot with some drones. This is the Disney site where they're building a Star Wars land site. Star Wars is big, which is no secret, but the upcoming Star Wars Galaxy Edge is downright massive.
That is huge.
Yeah.
They're
awesome. Revamping roughly 14 acres into Star Wars land. And obviously this promotional video was shot by drones, so I just thought we'd share that. But here's the interesting stuff. They're actually going to be encouraging people to come to Star Wars land dressed as your favourite character, to actually be fully immersed into it. So
that's awesome.
That'll get them in.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we're coming up to the top of the hour. I just want to thank everyone for participating, supporting the channel. But now this is the time for the shameless plugs. I'll go and press those buttons now. So number one, please do subscribe to our channel. Please do go to our Facebook page and like it and friend it and share it and do anything else appropriate. We're on Twitter as well, so you'll get notified when our videos go live. If there's anything you'd like to send in the post, send it to the address there, 5/127 Princess Highway, Sylvania, New South Wales 2224. And the upload one that I mentioned before, upload at gregkuhnert.com. If you've got a sunset photograph, still photograph, doesn't have to be a video, let's have a look at that next week and we'll see what people turn in. There was one other thing I was going to say, and let's do this just for a bit of fun. The person who wins the competition of the best sunset, I'll send them some Vegemite.
Hey! Oh man, send in those pictures, guys.
You too.
Wisely.
Oh man,
yeah. Okay.
Really enticing me now.
So that's all we've got time for today. Next week we've got our regular co-host John will be back, and next week we're going to have Jeff Sills, who compiles the news articles. Thank you very much, Jeff. And again, yes, thanks Greg as well. Greg helps to put some of the news articles together. Which one was yours today? I'm trying to remember now. Greg, which one did you send me?
Is Greg still here?
Greg, you there?
Yeah, mate.
Which article did you send? I'm trying to remember the news.
Defibrillator.
Defibrillator. Ah, that's the one, yes. Yeah, so that was an Australian.
Hilarious.
That was hilarious when you were trying to work out what it was.
I was like, okay, dropping a bag on his face.
Okay. Cool. So that's all we got time for today. Jeff will be here next week as our guest. John will be here again. Thank you, Chris, for being our co-host.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Greg, for compiling our Aussie videos. And the other one behind the scenes.
Greg.
The other one behind the scenes, Mel the Phantom Trucker. Thank you for putting the titles on the screen. All of those chat box things you see there, Mel's doing them from his truck on the other side of the planet, and he's putting it on the screen. Did you know that? That's awesome. Anyway, that's all. See you next time, guys. Bye for now.
Bye.